We haven't signed anyone. Hello to those that are new here, and alright to those that are not. How are yous doing? My name is Kikasian. Welcome back to the channel. This is usually the point where I would have put out the first transfer video, like I said I would have done in the St Mirren stream all the way back. We haven't signed anyone. So, this is going to be a relatively off-the-script video. There's no real plan to this. In fact, I really haven't found out what I'm doing until it's literally just came into my head as I started this recording. But to summarise, I'm going to sum up every single team in the top flight of the SPFL in about 30 seconds or less. So if you're curious to just see a quick summary and insult of every single team, stick around and hopefully this video actually makes sense in some capacity, because holy crap, it's not going to be my finest work. However, if you like this sort of stuff, please subscribe and I'll try and do more stuff similar to this, or at least kind of quick paced, I guess. And yeah, that's basically everything. Let's go, let's do this. Livingston have been absolutely just bad. 2 wins, 6 draws, 13 losses, making them quite literally one of the worst teams in top flight history. Just simple and pure. Like, even Gretna did better when they were in the top flight, and that tells you everything you need to know. So, yeah, Martindale, more like Martinvale. Livingston, nah, opposite day, it's more like dead wood, to be honest with you. And realistically, that plastic pitch was always going to cause some problems in the end, so haha, karma, get up yous. I don't even think there's an actual Livingston fan that really exists, but if yous do, sorry, but it's deserved. 12 points, suck on it. Next two I'm just going to group together because they're basically the exact same teams and how they play and how they do things, and the only difference is one's played an extra game and got a draw. So yeah, that's a Johnston. That's the only reason that they're not in 11th, but there you go basically. They have a very similar style of tactics, but to be honest with you, it's quite bland, which is kind of predictable. Ross County is basically like a cookie. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's not really going to do anything unexpected or blow your mind. And St John's is basically the same, although they did have a stretch in the middle of the season where they were a little bit better. At the very least, you know, give them credit where it's due. County is basically the same, but chances are those two will be scrapping for that, you know, relegation safety spot. Livingston are still dead in the water though. I'll say that to the end of time. Well, today a joke for you. Is your mother well? All cries for help aside, Motherwell have actually done pretty good. They're the draw specialists, but like the other teams that are kind of in this area of the table, wins have been the problem. 4 wins with 8 draws. So at the end of the day, they're picking up extra points, realistically should be fine. Steelmen should be sound, but they just need to pop a big blue, so to speak, to keep it going and stay up. Aberdeen and Dundee are two teams that are in a very similar position on 22 points, but with very different reasons to be happy and unhappy. Aberdeen have had good moments this season, including beating Eintracht and Frankfurt, but have also had lows this season, like losing 6-0 to us when we're shit. Dundee, on the other hand, have been the polar opposite. Everyone predicted them to finish bottom of the table when the season started, but they've been quietly keeping their head down and pushing for the top half of the table, which they could realistically be in come May. So fingers crossed that they actually managed to do something. It's nice to see a Dundee side actually try, so fingers crossed maybe they might do something, but either side can realistically make a push. That's all I've really got to say to them. Polvara's a baller, give credit where it's due. Got to like Dundee's goalkeeper as well. That's it. Both of yous are still shit. Hibs round out the bottom half of the table, so to speak, with 25 points. They sit currently In 6th place with a pretty respectable record, 6 wins, 7 draws, 7 losses, you know, the bare minimum of acceptable in this league, so to speak. But they've had a couple of good games and a couple of good stints, but more often than not, they've just seemed to have kind of faltered where they shouldn't have. I mean, their stretch of runs, especially in towards the end of January, just wasn't particularly good, and they didn't pick up a lot of results, which has slowly kind of seen them sink further and further down. So if they're going to strengthen themselves, they'd have to do it in January and hope, realistically, that things click. But all things considered, they're kind of at where most people would have kind of expected. A few surprises above them though, so. In 5th place is the Paisley boys, St Mirren, and I honestly can't say that they don't deserve to be there. They've played a pretty sustainable style of football, to be fully honest with you. 29 points is a pretty good haul for a team of St Mirren's size at this stage in the season, and like I said, they're still quite comfortably ahead of Hibs as well. They've got about 4 or 5 points on them as it stands, although I'm not sure about the games in hand situation. I just know that they're above them. Regardless though, St Mirren have got good players that they can build on. Gogic is a strong, good commanding captain at the back. They've got a strong goalkeeper as well that's doing work for them, so realistically, if they keep the defensive side of their game up, they could be top half quite comfortably. Maybe they could push out for the Conference League. Keep it up, boys. In 4th place, we probably have the most surprising team of the entire season for multiple reasons, but Derek McInnes's Kilmarnock seem to have just clicked for all the right reasons. They're getting results against all of the big sides, including us twice, you bastards. But at the end of the day, you know, they can't really be faulted. Most fans at the start of the season would be like, oh, Kelly, kill me, you know, I'm not doing this, but they've actually done exactly what they've needed to do, and they've played some good football, so best of luck to them. It'd be nice to see them in Europe next season. Away the Kelly.
Big men are up from the back. El Mahani right foot, whips it. Oh, jeezy peeps, man.
And 3rd is one of the more usual suspects in Hearts of Midlothian, and to be honest with you, they have probably been the best of the rest in terms of just straight out consistency. You know, you can make your cases for Kelly and St Mirren have had good seasons to this point, but Hearts have been the one team that have always kind of just kept themselves in the fight a little bit more. They're not great, they've still messed up every now and then, but they have again picked up wins against the bigger sides, and that's all you can realistically do. Shankland's a baller, so if they can keep a hold of him, then they'll be laughing. But yeah, as long as they keep doing what they're doing, chances are it's a lock-on for the Europa League. Oh, aye, Naismith's still a ball bastard though.
Michael, don't leave me here! Michael! Michael!
Nice. You've totally proved us wrong. Rangers haven't actually had a bad season, right? I'll make that clear out the gate. They've had a better season in Europe than us, although granted it was in a lesser competition, but still a last minute winner basically against Betis to guarantee your spot in Europe after Christmas. Genuinely fair play to that. However, in the league, it has just been inconsistency at the wrong times. Obviously the start of the season didn't help, and losing to us on the good old fashioned New Year derby just didn't work out for you either. I'm not saying that it's game, set and match by any means. You know, I'm nowhere near as confident as I was at the start of the season. However, it's funny. Yous never learn. Last season yous were leading and you still made the same mistakes of expecting a win. It's not done until it's done, so unlucky lads.
Oh, yes!
Fuck the board. Fuck the tactics. Fuck a lot of things. However, Matt O'Reilly. Also the fact that most of the players that we weren't expecting to be great have actually been very useful for us. I mean, Scales has been great. Taylor's picked up form since I've threatened him. Yeah, for the most part, everything else has kind of clicked for us. We had that kind of iffy month that we always do, which is December this time round, where we kind of lost twice in back-to-back games against Kelly and Hearts respectively, so that was... But besides that, there wasn't really too much that we've done wrong. We just kind of need to stabilise the ship, make a couple of good signings, and we should be fine. However, I will reiterate, fuck the board. And, you know, it's good to have the green brigade back. They're quite literally more useful than the guys in the suits, so aye, I suppose that's that. First place, baby! Yeah, that's basically this video over and done with. I'm not sure how long this is going to take to edit, because realistically I'm going to need to throw as much in to keep this as interesting and as engaging as possible, so forgive me if your ADHD was just kind of sprung everywhere, because it probably is for me when I'm trying to edit this. Don't know when it will be out, but it will be out. Here's how the table looks though. Oh, that's the wrong way. That's how the table looks. It's a pretty respectable looking table. Celtic and Rangers, as you would expect, are fighting out quite predominantly around the top. We kind of always know that it's a kind of two-horse race in this league. However, the rest of the table does have some interest. It's not like last season where it's more wait and see until May. There are genuine stories that are unfolding all across the league right now. And by all accounts, every one of these teams can pull a surprise in the second half of the season, the same way that any team can absolutely fall off with a vengeance. Like I said, Dundee's probably one of the teams to watch. Kelly is absolutely one of the teams to watch, because if there's a chance that they could be fighting out for the Europa League next season, that would be pretty cool to see as well. Obviously, Celtic and Rangers are going to be trading slugger blow after slugger blow just to try and make sure that there's some form of competition towards the end of the season. But if past things are what we kind of go off, Celtic will strengthen towards the last few days of January. Rangers will bring in 1 or 2 extra signings, and those signings will make or break the season. Last season it worked in Celtic's favour. It's up in the air to see how it works around. Celtic has by no means won the title, but we've set ourselves up good. That Old Firm win did us solid. So, realistically, yeah, that's everything. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, or whatever the fuck this was, to be honest. It was a pretty all over the place video, I'll be real. But if you liked it, you can subscribe. You can also do all the unnecessary things that you would like to, you know, like, share, all that good jazz. I'm trying to push towards 2,000 by the end of this year, so any help's appreciated. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. When there is an actual transfer that Celtic decide to announce and not hold against us like some fucking captive, I'll let you know about it as soon as possible. But the one to keep an eye out for, Kuhn, Kvistgaard. There you go. That's everything. Catch you in the next one. Bye.